The relationship between science and faith has long been a topic of debate, with some arguing that the pursuit of scientific knowledge is a means of understanding and glorifying God's creation, while others see it as a form of blasphemy. The idea that scientists blaspheme God with their supposed science is a notion that has been perpetuated by some religious groups and individuals who believe that the scientific method and its findings are somehow at odds with the teachings of their faith. At the heart of this argument is the idea that science and faith are mutually exclusive, and that the pursuit of scientific knowledge is a form of arrogance that seeks to supplant the divine with human understanding. Proponents of this view often point to the fact that many scientific theories and discoveries seem to contradict or challenge traditional religious teachings such as the theory of evolution or the Big Bang theory. They argue that by seeking to explain the workings of the universe through natural laws and processes, scientists are effectively denying the role of God in creation and reducing the divine to a mere abstraction. However, this perspective is based on a flawed understanding of the relationship between science and faith. Science is not a replacement for faith, but rather a complementary means of understanding the world. The scientific method is a systematic process of observation, experimentation, and evidence-based reasoning that seeks to explain the natural world, not to supplant the divine. In fact, many scientists are also people of faith who see their work as a way of glorifying God and understanding the intricacies of creation. Moreover, the idea that scientists blaspheme God with this post-science is based on a narrow and misguided interpretation of Scripture. Many religious texts, including the Bible, are open to multiple interpretations and contain passages that can be seen as supporting scientific inquiry and discovery. For example, the Book of Psalms contains passages that describe the wonders of creation and the laws of nature, while the Book of Proverbs encourages seekers of knowledge to explore and understand the world around them. Furthermore, the history of science is replete with examples of scientists who were also devoutly religious and saw their work as a means of serving God. Figures such as Isaac Newton, who developed the laws of motion and universal gravitation, and Gregor Mendel, who discovered the principles of genetics, were both motivated by a deep sense of faith and a desire to understand the workings of creation. In fact, many scientists have reported that their faith has been strengthened, not weakened, by their scientific pursuits, as they have come to appreciate the beauty and complexity of the natural world. It is also worth noting that the argument that scientists blaspheme God with their supposed science is often based on a misunderstanding of the nature of scientific inquiry. Science is not a fixed body of knowledge, but rather an ongoing process of discovery and exploration. Scientific theories and hypotheses are constantly being tested and refined, and it is through this process that our understanding of the world is deepened and expanded. This process of inquiry is not a challenge to God's authority, but rather a manifestation of human curiosity and the desire to understand the world around us. In conclusion, the idea that scientists blaspheme God with this supposed science is a misguided and flawed notion that is based on a narrow and misguided interpretation of Scripture and a misunderstanding of the nature of scientific inquiry. Science and faith are not mutually exclusive, but rather complementary means of understanding the world. By embracing the scientific method and its findings, we can deepen our appreciation and understanding of the natural world, and ultimately come to a greater sense of awe and reverence for the divine. Rather than seeing science as a form of blasphemy, we should recognize it as a means of glorifying God and appreciating the beauty and complexity of creation.